The following video will demonstrate how easy it is to create a general purchase order via CI Anywhere. A general purchase order is one where the terms and conditions that apply are those listed on the purchase order document. A general purchase order may be created if it meets the following criteria: no existing agreement, mandated panel, or contract is in place. If unsure, consult your procurement representative. The requirement is not related to construction works or services. The total value is under $20,000 and related to an organisational expense, such as taxi services, postage, catering, or training. Before we start, check the supplier is active in CIA. Ask your supervisor if you don't know. Know the general ledger or project account codes. Ask your finance representative or your supervisor for this information. If applicable, a copy of the transaction approval form and or reference number may be needed. Confirm this with your supervisor. And a copy of the quote, if applicable. From the CI Anywhere homepage, select Purchasing and select the tile My Requisitions. The screen will refresh. From the requisition homepage, select Add, Create Blank Requisition. Notice that the requisition user has automatically defaulted to your name. The requisition user field is the user who will be notified if an invoice is submitted referencing the purchase order linked to this requisition. If you are not the person who needs to be notified, you can change this field by selecting the drop-down arrow and searching for the appropriate user. Select Advanced Search, and you can enter in the partial name of the person, or you can scroll down all the users listed below. Any field that is noted with an asterisk is mandatory. All other fields are not mandatory but may need to be populated depending on the information your supervisor provides you. If you do want to quote the supplier's quote number, we suggest you put it in the reference field 1. Note, there is a priority field here. This is an indication to the approver on the urgency of your request. All requisitions are excluding GST. The date required will automatically default to 7 days in advance. This can be changed by simply selecting the calendar icon and changing the date. You then must select Single Supplier Requisition. In the field Supplier Account, enter in the supplier account number. This is typically the ABN number of the supplier, provided to you by your supervisor. You may also search for a supplier by simply selecting the drop-down button, select Advanced Search, and search by either the partial name of a supplier or their ABN. For example, enter in the part name of a supplier. Select the search icon. A listing of all the suppliers that meet your search criteria will be displayed below. It is in this section you can actually determine if a supplier is inactive or active. Only suppliers who have an active account will be able to be used to create the requisition. Select the supplier. Scrolling down the page, Under delivery location, if there is a delivery address other than the locations already within the system, enter in the delivery address here. For example, I may want these goods to be delivered to a personnel's address. It is not recommended to enter in the quote number that the supplier has provided. The reason for not entering a supplier's quote number is to avoid implied acceptance of any terms and conditions noted on their quote. Enter in other details applicable to this requisition. If a TAP form is required, select from the drop-down the option Yes and note down the TAP form number. If it's not applicable to this requisition, these fields may be left blank and select Save to confirm your entries. The screen will refresh. In the Requested Items section, select Add, Ad Hoc Request, and enter in details of the items you require. In this example, we will be requesting some goods, the date that we require the goods. Again, this can be changed. The GST rate, if GST is applicable. If it is not applicable, select from the drop-down and select 0. Add in the quantity of the items you require and the value of the goods excluding GST. As we are creating a general requisition, we will not be referencing a contract. Scroll down the page and enter in the General Ledger Code or Project Code provided to you. If you want to add additional items and allocate the same General Ledger and Account Code, select the drop-down and select Save and Add. The screen will refresh. Enter in a description. In this example, we're actually going to request services. Select from the drop-down and select Services. The date, the services required, if GST is applicable, enter in the total value of the services excluding GST. Scrolling down the page, as this is a general purchase order, we will not be entering a contract. Notice that the General Ledger account codes have automatically defaulted. Select Save If you want to add another item, simply select the Add button, Ad Hoc Request. Enter in details of the items you require. Scroll down the page, select the quantity. In the unit name, there are a number of other options. For example, we could require a box of spanners and the unit value per box. Enter it in the unit amount, excluding value. Scroll down the page, and in this section, we can actually allocate this requirement to a different General Ledger Code and Account Code. To confirm your entries, simply click on the Save button. All the items for this requisition will be listed. If you would like to remove an item, simply select the drop-down button and select Delete, and then OK to confirm. If you would like to edit any of the entries, simply select the Edit button and change any of the details in the sections displayed. Select the Save button to confirm your changes. From the left-hand side, select Addresses. In here, you can enter in any applicable delivery instructions. If you select Delivery Address, you will notice that there are a number of pre-populated delivery addresses. Any of these address details can be selected. For example, Spotswood, and you'll notice that the address has automatically changed. In the event you want to change some of the details entered at the start of the process, select the Settings section. Make sure you save any changes. And in this section, you can actually add additional details. Note, I haven't entered a delivery address in this location. Instead, I indicated in the Address section that I would like the delivery to be made to Spotswood. At this stage, you can save and return to the requisition later, or if you are happy with your entries, simply select the Submit for Approval button. Enter in any comments for the approver to read and select OK to confirm. The screen will refresh. If you would like to check who will be approving or reviewing your requisition, select the Authorization History button. Select the drop-down arrow, and here you will see the name of the approver who will be reviewing your requisition, the date and time that the actual requisition was forwarded on for their review. This is the end of the demonstration.